What up? What up? What up? Ibn Webb, Ib Webb, Karan the Sum here. Official things going down. Go do this Essex County thing again. Rahim Williams, man, the stories I done heard about this man, his exploits on the court, what have you here. It's been cool prior up to this, just, being able to communicate and meet him and talk with him as well, too. I mean, great man, just information and just building on him a little bit prior to all of this. So looking forward, to seeing what he got to say, share his journey, his walk through life here, a little bit of his world. So we're just going to jump into it. Hold tight.
Good?
We good. We good. Look at you here. Assalamu alaikum.
Big sign. See my south side stuff.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Good stuff. Good stuff. Nice to place a face with a name, a voice, everything here.
Yeah, same here, bro.
Yeah, nah. Thank you for doing this. And I know we've been chopping it up a little bit prior to this, but just to have you on and just to hear about your journey here. Like I said, I'm taken back by all this.
I appreciate you, man, more than you know, bro.
Yeah. We got the South Side. We got all this stuff going on here. So be careful what I say. I want no problems with nobody from Malcolm X Shabazz there.
Oh, good.
We're gonna swing back a little bit here. So speaking of South Side and Shabazz there, you born in North, raised in? I mean, obviously I know you was raised, but were you born in North?
Born and raised in North, bro.
Okay. How was it for you as far as growing up for you?
I had a blessed life. I really had a blessed life. Good parents.
Yeah.
Parents, all my father, both my grandfathers, both my mother and both my grandmothers all had a part of me who I am.
Yeah. Now, only sibling?
I got one brother, but me and my first cousins came up, like, we used to always be down at my grandfather's house, my grandparents' house. So, and it was all men in my family, so I was always the youngest one. So that's why when they used to beat up on me, so when it came time to be around people my age, it was like playing with little kids.
No, that's right. Yeah, like walk in the park. Nah, definitely. As far as what part of North did you grow up in? What area? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming around Shabazz, but was any other parts of North you grew up in?
South Central, man.
Okay.
It's like South Ward, Central Ward. That's where all my family was. We briefly lived in the North Ward when I was like early, but then we moved back on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Double dog.
Okay.
Bulldog, Blue Devil.
What you get into as far as activity? I don't know. Ultimately, you wound up playing basketball, but anything else like sports or anything else activity-wise growing up you get into?
Football, actually, like grammar school and early high school, I thought that I was a better football player than basketball.
Okay.
Because like my brother and my older, like I call my older cousins, they like uncles to me. Rahim Morris, that's how I got to be Southside. That's how I was. When I was in grammar school, my nickname was Southside. That's what everybody called me because the first day of football practice, my big cousin had gave me a Southside sweatshirt. When I came in, they don't know your name, so for the next 3 years, I was Southside.
Okay. Football position did you play, or like
defensive end?
You said defensive end.
Yes, defensive end, defensive tackle.
Okay. Look at you.
A little bit of end, but like I wasn't really that fleet of foot when I was young. I was big.
Okay.
I was a big kid. I was 5'10", 230 in the 6th grade.
Ooh.
And in the 70s, that was big.
Yeah. Did you play? Get a chance to play anything organized before high school, whether it was football, or basketball, any organized leagues, anything?
High school?
No, before high school.
Yeah. Well, you remember when you said you talked to Mike Brown? I was at the Blessed Sacrament, so we was in the CYO league. So we played. It kept us out of trouble, man.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. It kept us out of trouble. And I was gonna play Pop Warner, like the North Bears.
Yeah.
But they had the weight limit. First time I went, when I got old enough for the little team, I weighed too much to be on the big team. They would let me play.
Oh, they had you running around with a garbage bag trying to lose weight?
It's the 70s, man. They didn't have all of that.
Yeah.
It's the 70s, man. They didn't have all of that.
Yeah. Now, Where does basketball come in as far as somebody just your cousins or you just picked it up on your own?
Well, in the 6th grade, man, I was a fat kid. And
Okay.
I remember something happened. I went to the doctor, and the doctor told my mother, but that was my first year playing football and basketball, but I wasn't really, you know, because I was on the big team. Like, they had a little team and a big team. I'm on the big team with the 7th, 8th graders. Most of my classmates was on the little team, so I was on the big team, so I really wasn't getting it.
Okay.
When I went to the doctor said something to my mother about pre-diabetes, and he wanted me to take some pills. And I had never took no medicine before. So the doctor was like, wait. So between that summer, I went from 5'10", 230. The next time when we went back to school, I was 6'3" and a half, 190 pounds. So that summer, every day I just went to the park, ran, boom, Alex. And that was the birth.
Now, interesting. You mentioned the health condition here, but somehow you sound like even early on you was able to beat that to your point, to shed off that weight. Also, that height start taking place.
Yeah, I was big. I wasn't unhealthy. Was, like I said, you 230. I was always a big kid.
Okay.
Like now, if you look, like my doctor told me recently, she said, "I'm gonna tell you something I've never said in my 30 years." She said, "You are a slim, healthy, 265-pound black man." She said, "Most people normally 265." I told her, I was 230 in the 6th grade. The little nurse that was sitting next to her, she said, "You only gained 30 pounds since the 6th grade?" I was just a big kid,
Yeah, nah, that's all right here. I know you blessed the sacrament and everything else. Did you know you was going to Shabazz? Did you know you was going to?
Like I said, bro, my nickname in grammar school is Southside.
Okay.
And like I said, that was just my brother, who's 4 years older than me. His last year in Shabazz, he got into the girls and all that, so he had to do a 5th year. So
okay.
When I graduated, my father was like, "You not listen. Your brother got messed up down there. You're not going down there." So he made me go to Essex County my freshman year.
Oh, okay.
Like went over there, like play football and basketball. Our basketball team, man. Like in my life, I've never played on a basketball team and lose a record. That basketball team we had that year was 26-0, bro. It was the #1 freshman team in the state. After the season is over, like my brother and them is over at Shabazz. After our season over, every time I get out of school, I'm going over to Shabazz.
Okay.
I'm hanging out because that's before they had the field, and they didn't even have the new school yet. So we playing in the field and all of that. And Coach Reynolds, who ended up being my coach, somebody in the neighborhood had told him about me. Like, you need to see this guy. His name, they call him Southside. And he's good. So he takes me in the gym, man. This is one of his favorite stories. They hadn't even put the wood on the floor yet. Brings me to the gym. We looking around. He said, "This is gonna be here next year." Look, he looked around and said, "Man, this could all be yours." So I went, told my dad, I said, "Listen, I want to go to Shabazz next year." It caused some problems because my father was like, in the neighborhood, my father was a police officer. He was the type of people that friends who didn't have a man and like father in the house. If they messed up, their mother would bring them to my father. So
okay, yeah.
First, I told my father said he didn't even think about it. Just and long story short, the basketball coach at Essex Catholic. Now that year we was 26-0. The varsity was 2-18. He wouldn't let me play varsity. He comes into the meeting when we got some real little certificates being 26-0. And he's like, "If you work hard over the summer, I might let you play varsity next year."
Now, who's your freshman coach?
Oh, Mike Shannon.
Yeah, I had Mr. Shannon on. That's why I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to be sure. Yeah.
Now, if Mike was there, if Mr. Shannon had stayed, I might not have left. If he was the varsity coach, I don't think I would have stayed at the That's how much respect and love I have. That's my man.
That's your man. Yeah, great guy. Yeah, definitely.
Coach tell me, like, you work hard over the summer, I might let you play varsity next year. I looked at him, man, I'm going to Shabazz. I didn't even think about it. That night, he called, like, we sitting down eating dinner. He called my father. My father go on the phone. He said, Brother Mac is on the phone. He's talking about, you talking about you. I said, man, I'm not playing for him. I'm going to Shabazz next year. They got a new gym and all this. So my father go back in the room, just tell him that he don't want to go there. He came back, he said, man, he said, if I let you go there next year, then he'll give you a scholarship. So I said, well, if I was back and like we having this conversation, this is the first, like, I'm not going to say man-to-man conversation I've had with my father. The first time I said, like, I said, well, if I was that good, he could have gave me a scholarship this year. The way, you know, it was a struggle for my family to pay to go there. So he says, he gave me that look. And my mother gave me the look too, like, you talking to your father like that? So he go back. And he said, you must have talked to the coach. He said, man, listen, he said, he's going to give you a scholarship. He said, man, if I let you go back there, he said, he guaranteed me in 3 years, you'll be all state. And I didn't even, and I'm eating, and I can remember, you know how certain things burnt into your mind? I'm eating. And I just looked, and I didn't even look up. I just said, I said, if I work hard, I can guarantee myself all state. Other stuff. You going, that's it. I remember I said, well, you can make me go there, but you can't make me play for him. I never looked up because I don't know what my father's doing. My mother, my mother just said, that's right. You can't make him play. I go to Shabazz. Best team I ever played on, but we was only 11-11. 11-11. Essex Catholic wins the state championship next year, bro. Because we got kicked, like we got out of the state tournament early. I get with my boys, Brian Hicks, and them. I go to the game. Look, I go to the state champ game, ride with them on the bus. But you know, and I had gotten this, you know, like as my lifestyle changed a little bit. I got popped upside the head. My dad got in a little trouble, so he was really wanting to send me back to Essex County my junior year. But good thing I didn't. That's the year. Listen, first time the Star Legend poll came out in my junior year, we was #1 in this.
Okay, yeah.
But then we lost a week. Boy, ask me about that. All right, bro.
Yeah. No. That City League.
I just messing with you.
That City League, though, yeah. So you talk about us. Obviously, you get over the Shabazz sophomore year. You talk about the record you guys had, and Essex Catholic wins it all that year. So your junior, I mean, you realize like you coming into your own, and this gonna be your show, or what we thinking?
Junior year, bro. We ended up, I think, 24-5. Like I said, we was #1 in the state. Weekway comes in our gym and beats her. That changed the whole dynamics of the whole team for the whole season.
Okay.
That was our arch rival. But that was the City League was tough back then, man. That year, we could have been state champ. We could have been state champs. Easy. It was all like now, you play all the Group 3 schools that are in, you know, if you're in a Group 3 or Group 4, back then all we did was play each other. None of the schools would come down to play. It was a different work. We had to play our basketball game, brother, at 3:45 and after 2011 night game. You know what I mean? So, but like today, like I'm blessed. I got a thing work with the different groups within this, like kind of because I work with and I tell them, I said, man, listen, we didn't have Crips and Bloods. We had the orange and browns and just the black and gold.
Yes.
Blue and whites. And I said, but the difference is because our beef was settled, you know, basketball or girls basketball or baseball. You grow up, those be some of your best friends. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Did you obviously the whole City League, the Weekway, you know, things you guys have going on? Did you think about that you potentially maybe playing at the next level, talking about college, but before we get there, you get your senior year. Is that when you, I mean, obviously I did well your junior year. Is that when you just really take off?
Well, my junior year, bro, I might get a little emotional. That's when my whole life changed, bro. My sophomore year, East Orange beat us.
Okay.
And I remember they called 40-something fouls on us. We called 7 on that. I don't. The way I internalize it, I'm not going to say the referees. I just say it seemed like to be a bias. But we had to train ourselves to rise above that. Like, we couldn't say anything if the referees did anything, and that's how we became good. And I remember in the locker room, just being protected. Our manager, one of my mentors, Mr. Ed Pierce, said, "Man, you remember this? Next year we play East Orange in the county semifinals, and they had been in the finals like I think about 4 to 5 of the previous years." And the Star Ledger said, first time, East Orange was blown out, but on one play, I stretched all the ligaments on both sides of my knee, all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle, fractured my wrist on one play.
Ooh.
And didn't go to the hospital and finish the game. Next morning, I wake up and my whole leg is the same size. And my father, who was my biggest fan, I called. Back then, we didn't have cell phones. It was like the best thing. I had my own phone in my room, so I called him. Father, pick up, because this might have been like about 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how. He didn't even answer the phone. He just picked up the phone and hung it back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's apparent. Yeah,
that's how they did it then.
That's right.
They didn't have call ID, so he didn't know it. So I called again. He picked the phone up and just put it on the side. He didn't even answer. It was 12 in the morning. I literally crawled back there and told my father, so he's gonna take me to the hospital. My father, like I said, was my number one fan, man. Instead of going right to the hospital, we're gonna go with the House of Pancakes, get something to eat first. Because he's like, man, if you go to the hospital, man, they ain't gonna let you play Saturday. And I was just like, man, you go to the hospital, and the first 2 doctors looked at it and said, man, we gotta operate. And it was just, my world was gone.
Yeah.
I had good attention, man. Nobody has told you about Dr. James Lee. He saved so many. He was like the number 1 orthopedic surgeon in this area. He helped. He was like pro athletes. He helped invent the first knee replacement things. And the thing they put in there, he had always told me, when y'all go to college, if you ever get hurt, don't let them cut you, because that's how they make the money. Put it in the cash and call me. So I told the doctor, I said, my father that. So I'm in there, and they said, man, we're going to call Dr. Lee. So we in there all day. And 2 doctors came, and I made my leg dead. Finally, Dr. Lee gets there, and Dr. Lee was just like, feeling my knee.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even, before he looked at the pictures, he said, yeah, you stretched all the ligaments here. He looked at my ankle, you stretched all the ligaments there. My leg was just in hurting so much. I didn't even know that my wrist was fractured, so maybe like a little bit later. So he says, there's no way that you can play in this game. You got to CJ, I'm going to get you to the hospital. And when I finish telling the story, you're going to understand this. I looked at my father, man, and the look in his eyes, because like, back then, the fathers wasn't like the love you type. My father looked at me like he could see my heart, bro. And I was just like, but man, we playing in the finals of the county tournament. I got to go to the game. And Dr. Lee said, if I let you go, I know you're going to play. Mm. He said, but you can't play. He put a cast on. So I go, get on crutches. I'm going to school to tell the coach. They having a pep rally at the school. I come to the gym on crutches. The coach come up to me and said, you're not playing, because this was on Friday. You're not playing tomorrow? Excuse my leg. I looked at him and said, motherfucker, you took my leg.
Yeah.
We lost to Our Lady of the Valley in the final. And I'm going to tell you like this, like, because I came up with the CYO crowd, I knew everybody on them. And plus, I knew that too. And not to and I don't want, like, I try not to belittle anybody, but in my belief, I said that if I was playing, there's no way. And we had a good team. We had a great team without me. That's how good Shabazz. Mm-hmm. No way, bro. That they. So after the game, I go to the hospital, and I remember like being in the hospital bed. They had me in traction. My dad came in a couple of days later, and he just, man, it was just like everything I had worked for was gone. And my dad said, man, don't worry about this. Man, whatever we got to do, we got to do. We're going to get you out of this. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. My dad wasn't the type of, you know what I mean? He didn't, the empathetic one. Our fathers was, the mother was the one that did that. And it's like the first time that me and my father really had one of them empathetic conversations. And my father got ready to leave out. And he said, I love you, man. And I looked and I said, I love you too. And it helped my heart. Watch this, Ed. Next morning, and I'm in the hospital. One of my best friends come from school. And I said, man, what you doing here? What you doing here? He said, man, you know your father got killed last night, right?
Mm.
I said, and I grabbed him. I said, what you talking about? And because my father's a police officer, he showed me the Star Ledger. My father's picture was on the front page.
Mm.
So that was like I said, and all that goes to me being in the hospital that one game. Like I said, my whole life changed. Long story short, Ed, after the funeral and all that, because like when it's a police officer, so many people
right
in the community we live right on High Street. They call it Martin Luther King Boulevard now, between West Kennedy and Montgomery. So that's right in the central court. That's like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I remember the police officer came to me, man named Carmine. He had a toothpick in his mouth. He said, man, let me tell you about your father. He said, your father was just tough as nails. He said, you'd have to kick him in the balls and get him to lock you up. And nobody messed with him. He said, you know, they didn't. He said, you know, the police was looking for him. He said, but when they got the guys that killed your father, when they turned themselves in, they didn't turn themselves in because we was looking for them. They turned them in because the people on the streets was looking for them. And I remember that.
Mm.
And I'm rehabbing again. I'm rehabbing really because I didn't go back to the hospital. So I'm just doing stuff. Just strengthening my leg. Dr. Lee gave me this knee braces back then was like a new thing. Gave me a nice knee brace and I went back and played. We went to the state finals and we lost in the state finals. So when you start talking about my senior year, between my junior and senior year, every morning, bro, I would get up. I would go to Weequay Park. First, I could only jog around the lake. I got to by the time it's mid-July, I'm running around the lake twice every morning. And they had a whole horse stadium in there. I would just hop up and down the stairs. Did that 2 times every day. Meanwhile, now this is the other side. You start talking about Newark, but you know, in the summertime, we playing in the hole. Yes. We playing in Green Acres. We playing Presby Park. We playing in West 4th Street over in New York. We playing up in East Orange. Anyway, you know, so I'm playing. And every night before I went to sleep, I would do the same thing. I'd go to Weequay Park. So by the time my senior year came, I didn't have no knee brace on, no nothing. But the team had been depleted. Like my junior year, bro, it was a monster team. My senior year, we only had 2 starters, two players from my junior year on the team.
Okay.
Me and Larry Furley. We had 5 seniors. My man, Johnny Oglesby, who was one of the seniors, that got hurt playing football. So it was 4 seniors and the rest was young boys. We really wasn't having a good year. That's the year we won the state championship.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, for you to say y'all didn't necessarily have y'all wasn't as loaded as your junior year, but still y'all come out with a state championship. Yeah.
That team that year at Shabazz, all the years I played basketball, grammar school, high school, probably college too. I think that team might have been. It wasn't a bad team, but because it was all sophomores, man. It was like sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
We really didn't have that many. It was just we won the state championship.
Yeah. Even with that being said, I know the accolades for you, they pouring in from all county, all state. I mean, like, you 17, 18 years old. Like, how you taking all this in besides everything else that done happened in your life within that last year or so with your pops passing and injuries, everything? Like, you know, you start, you know, there's a lot whirlwind.
I had a different attitude about it.
Okay.
Because of the way I was raised, like I said, my family was mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
And with my father, my biggest fan, I'm losing him my junior year.
Yeah.
They was playing here. I was like a different level, man. But at the same time, my young brothers at Shabazz, I had to bring them along. So I remember, brother, we were 8-8. We were 16-9 that year and won the state championship. We were 8-8. And my coach, because we had went to the state finals the year before, he was coaching in the All-Star, like the North-South game. They picked just from one group. That year it was 3 coaches from groups All-Star.
Okay.
He comes to me, we're getting ready to go play Eastside. Man, I need to talk to you. I'm like, what's up? He said, listen, man, we're 8-8. He said, tonight is the night that you have to submit your record, for the state tournament. If you're not, you have to be at least 500 to make the state tournament. So we 8-8. If we lose tonight, we're not even in the state tournament. And I was just like, whoa. Then he said, I got some bad news. I was like, what can be worse than that? He said, well, they got me coaching the North-South game. He said, they just sent me the thing for the North team. They didn't put you on it. I wasn't on it. See what you just said? And I just said like this. They didn't put me on it. From that point on right there, Ed, I'm just singularly focused. Now watch this. I wasn't on that team. Rob Cole wasn't on the team either. But we never listened. We lost one more game that year, and it was to Rob Cole. After that, I came in to listen, man. Ain't no more playing around in practice. Ain't no more playing around in practice. Ain't no more drinking beer. Ain't no more this. Be serious. And literally, we got team-wise in the best shape that we. And it's sometimes, when you have a team where there are not that many quote unquote stars, you function as a team. Like I might have been the main focus of like people playing against us, but see, the type of player I was, I'm not a shooter. I'm a scorer. So I don't care who scores as long as we win it. That was my main focus. So we went on a spree. We beat some good teams coming down, and we lost. The last game I lost was like against Orange to Rob Colton. I think that's the best game ever.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a triple double, but it was rebounds, block shots.
Okay.
And then I scored my 1,000 point in that game. And I remember, like they come and because we lost, we come outside the bus. I took the ball and I threw it down the street. I didn't want this shit. We lost. One of my cheerleader friends, she wouldn't buy it. Next day, we go back to the gym because now we out of the county tournament in the first round. It's the state tournament. Mind you, I was focused on winning the county tournament because in my mind, that was where I was. That's when my father got killed. Just like all this is in my mind. So state tournament, I cut the coach. I said, listen, man, 3 years, done everything that you asked me to do. I ain't never complained, this and that. I said, so for the tournament, can we just start 5 seasons? I'm thinking I'm going to have to argue with him, which is something, I wasn't confrontation type. Coach Reynolds, man, this is why, he just said, yeah, we could do that. I said, okay. I said, listen, we go downstairs, we just talk to them. That's what we listen. This is our last time to go.
Yeah.
Down there. This is it. So in practice, bro, everybody's running the sprints as hard as they can. And we got in shape. First game of the state tournament, now usually Coach Reynolds in night games, because most of our games was night, he would pick me up on the way to the gym. This day, he don't pick me up. So when I wake up, it's time to be at the school. Like he'd call me and say, okay, I'm coming. I have my backpack. This is the first game. The bus left me, bro. So I had to get to the game up and we're starting out. We the last seed in our group. We played the number 1 seed. I had to get up there. When I get there, brother, I think it's like, it wasn't halftime, but they let me in. We end up winning the game. So now Coach Reynolds think now, like if you talk to him, he's gonna say, you tell anybody. If you think you're the man, Rahim was on state. And the state tournament, I left him.
You left him, yeah.
But I let him go with that. I don't have to say, man, you were supposed to pick me up. That was our routine. But we went on and we had a good run, man. We had a good run. But because we was so low seated, we had to beat all of the best teams going to the state tournament.
Wow.
State tournament game now. Talking your head up. Listen, state
tournament. Nah. I'm just taking all this in.
State tournament game, brother. I don't remember it. I went to say, how come you not remember that? They told me, brother, like this. Now, I got my 1,000 rebound in the state tournament game. I remember that. And I remember me telling because my father was going. My mother was like, when I said my father was my biggest fan, my mother was different. My mother was on the game type. You know what I mean? I'm looking in the stands. I want to get the ball to my mother. The coach was saying, come on, man, we ain't got time for that. I'm like, okay, I'm playing. The next rebound that they said I went to get, I had pitched the ball to somebody, and the ball came off high. So when I jumped to get it and I leaned back, somebody from Long Branch was coming behind me and like trying to stop. But when I leaned back, he hit my legs. They said when my head hit the floor, my feet was high. My feet was as high as my shoulders usually up. Banged my head on the floor. So I really don't remember. Came back, it was pretty good. And me and Frollo in that game, we scored all the points in the first half. We scored all the points except for 10 in the game, but we won. So I don't remember, bro. I don't remember.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, just to go on that run, like you said, it ain't matter. I mean, you guys last year, y'all just went on a run and took care of business.
Thing I would tell you, brother, and I think it's one reason, like all my brothers, that team, we was brothers. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't about me. Like I told them, when Smooth and Robert Coleman, the reason I went to the coach to ask him to start 5 seniors, literally, I get a rebound. Pitch it out. We was a fast break team. And I'm on the break now. I'm on the break. We could not get the ball past half court. So I was like, listen, and my man Johnny Oglesby, man, I gave him a shout out. He was supposed to cut it home. So like we knew each other. We knew each other. We was in Blessed Sacrament, playing for Blessed Sacrament. He was playing for Queen of Angels, which was another local school that was in the hood. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we knew each other coming up. Johnny had that, he got that mentality. Where I know, listen, Johnny, if I get you the ball, all you got to do is get it down the other end of the court. So he could do that. Then once the younger brothers didn't have that pressure on them, but that was the first state championship at Bass after they had changed to Southside. Late 70s, man. I think maybe they would city that at that time was not look well upon. And a lot of time in all aspects, no matter where we went, if we weren't in the city, like I don't like using the word, I would say it was a prejudice. You know what I mean?
Okay, yes.
Down upon it. So like in the state tournament, because like it's only certain referees would come to the city league. And then as you start going to the state tournament, referees come out. And in the county tournament, I remember referees coming up to me and said, like, referees, man, said, listen, man, I'm so proud of you. I'd be like, thank you. What you proud of me for? They said, your team don't give us no problems. Because I tell them, like, we go out, listen, if anybody give you a problem, come see me.
Right.
Like now they be arguing at the refs or like, you 3-point, you doing this. You didn't do none of that. You scored, it's what you and just to come at that time, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it sound like it. It sound like it to win it all, and just they obviously getting the praise from officials and probably everybody else as well too.
And with that, yeah, too good. Like I did good academically because like it's a lot of like I was wondering why a lot of schools didn't recruit me later on, and then coaches told me, well, the word was you was going to the Ivy League. So I went to University of Penn, which is Ivy League. I could have went to Columbia, Yale, all of them. So and I think like when you talk about my dad's legacy, that was more his legacy.
Okay.
Like that's why like today I'm blessed to be down there like Essex County College. And I went and I saw Cleo's, brother Cleo Hill's name on the gym, brother.
Yeah.
One of my other mentors at the school, he said, Rahim, think about it. You a Bulldog and you down here at Essex County College teaching too. He said, you fought, and I was just like, wow, because I never really thought about it.
Yeah, made that connection. Yeah.
I almost cried when I seen it.
Nah, that's long. That's long overdue.
Too long.
That's long overdue here. I know. So, college, did you ever other schools was looking at you before you made your final choice?
Yes, yeah. And see, like I felt kind of slighted because I felt once I got in college and started talking to other coaches, that's when it's like, oh no, the word was you was going to Ivy League. So I went to the University of Penn, and they had been to the Final Four the year before.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out because like my freshman year down, like my first year down there, is it was just a change for me. Like coming from Newark and then going to an Ivy League school, it's a different atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And what a therapist told me later on was, like, because my father got killed, it was in those days we didn't go to therapy or anything like that.
Right.
My therapist told me this. She said, "You had PTSD and didn't even know it. It was down there in a room by myself." And again, when my father got killed, that's when I had to go back to play basketball because that's the only way I could get, away from things.
Yeah, outlet, yeah.
And I went down there, and long story short, season starts, basketball. They invite my coach down, Mr. Reynolds down from Shabazz, to see the practice. They let me play with the starting lineup. And I mean, I had the best practice I had. Mr. Reynolds leave, be back, third team. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm still, okay, I got to stay. Get a call from my best friend. He said, listen, man, your mother told me don't tell you this, man, but they broke your mom's house last night. I just went over there and put some bars on the windows and whatever. That's how my dad got killed. Somebody broke into our house. They said it was in the line of duty as a police officer because they said he was chasing them out in the line of duty. But so I go tell the coach, listen, man, somebody broke my mother's house. I got to go home. He said, man, you can't go home. It's practice. It's practicing now. At 18, you don't have the wherewithal to say, okay, this is university. And be a millionaire. Years later, like I remember Coach Fuller saying, man, I know you wish you had stayed at the University of Penn and this and that. And I just looked at him and my thing was, if I had to stay there and something had happened to my mother, none of this would have been worth it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I left college and I went home. Now I'm pissed with the coach because, at the 18-year-old, like, he gonna tell me I can't go home and take care of my mother. I don't want to play. But I'm home now. I'm home. And I'm by myself. I start getting depressed again. That was like another name. So I go, Ron Carnegie comes up to see me. He was coaching at Mama's Day. So I went down and played him. I just needed to be at the house. Again, it was another brilliant move, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. One door closed, another one open, and it's that Southside Shabazz connect too, So looking out for each other, yeah. So and you're close to the home. I mean, I know Penn is only in Philly, but you're still close to the home. Being, yeah.
I had never lived by the seashore before.
That's right. You're down the shore, yeah.
You ever get a chance? And now listen, and it's in Long Branch. We had beat Long Branch in the state championship, so I had fun down there. Hey, look, I had fun down there. And like I said, because like at that point in time, man, my mind was just on, all right, let me get this degree. Like, I'm not a big, it's all about Rahim type of joker. That's not me. I mean, I don't need the fanfare.
Yeah. How'd you do down there? I mean, down in Monmouth there, once you kind of, got yourself together a little bit?
That time, Monmouth was a Division II school. They were getting ready to go D1.
Okay.
We won our conference both years. And I only stayed down there 2 years. The last game I played from there, we were in the NCAA Eastern Regionals.
Okay.
The last game I played was a good game. I made that team. I made all Eastern Regional down there. And the last coach that I played against down there was John Chaney when he was at Chaney.
Chaney, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And again, that's the name, right? And he came up to me and he was just like, man, he said, I haven't seen anybody rebound like and play defense like you is. Just keep your head up. It just, but down at Monmouth, it just didn't work out.
Okay.
Now this is like I'm going to my third college. And my thing was, I didn't want to go somewhere and sit out a year, which was dumb for me. If I had done that when I left Penn, I probably could have went to another school. It's that when I left and went down to Monmouth, once I told Ron I was going to play, that's when other coaches started contacting people finding out that I had left Penn, University of Penn. Some of the names like NC State. See, that was the first year of the Big East.
Okay.
So, like schools like Seton Hall, St. John's, Villanova, I mean, they had recruited me, but I'm just like, before the Big East, I was just like, I'm going to no St. John's. You know, I was thinking big. Those schools came. Smooth was over at LIU.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, my word is my bond. So when I told Carnegie, listen, I'm going to come down there and play. You know, he's a brother. He's a Southside brother. So I honored that, and I went down there. But I don't regret nothing.
Mm-hmm. When you left Monmouth, where did you end up going?
Hampton.
Okay.
Now listen, I was just finished with that. So listen, and see, all my boys was down at St. Aug's. All my boys was playing it. Like the North crew was down at St. Aug's.
Okay.
AA. I should have went to St. Aug's, but again, when I left there, I did the same thing, brother. I went home, and it's just me being in the room. Because I had never been through therapy before. That's what my doctor said. She said, like my therapist, when I finally got one years later, she said, that's just a trigger for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and so when I went back, I was like, no, I can't stay here. My boy was down in Hampton, and what got me really down there, brother, was two things. The CIAA, Hampton was like the Clifford Scott, the CIAA, like it had the most beautiful women down there, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
By the beach.
That's right.
After being at Mama, like Hampton and Norfolk State was right by. When I went down there, it reminded me so much of being back in that culture. You know, Monmouth was a bit stupid. Monmouth was Monmouth.
Right.
Hampton was Hampton. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
CIAA, I really loved it down.
Yeah. Wow. Nah, so you get down to Hampton, you play down there. Are you, during all this time, I know you know switching schools for whatever reason, or did you ever feel as though like you know you wanted to give the pros a shot if you had the opportunity?
More so, yes, but more so because like when I got to Hampton, Hampton had won the CIAA the year before I got there, and my first year there, it was okay. Ended up not playing my senior year, but because I just wanted to just went to school, and like my agent back then had told me like from playing at Rucker to Rucker and all of this, it's like I had options, but I don't know whether I had just that wasn't really like one of my main goals.
Okay.
I really wasn't focused on it. Like I said, it's my mindset had changed because number one, like I said, mom is home by herself. And I don't know whether I had just lost that drive, like this. I don't know. But come home and playing, like I'm playing against in summer leagues and stuff. People tell me, man, like Edgar Jones told me, man, you should be in the league. But it just wasn't something that I really put a big thing. It wasn't no big thing to me.
Okay. No, and I think it happens that way for, I mean, a lot of people here. I mean, but even with that being said, life goes on. So,
yeah,
I mean,
good.
did you, as far as career-wise, did you have any interest in doing anything once you got done with school?
I was I was a computer science major in the early 80s.
I was about to say back then. Okay.
It was completely different.
Yeah.
And because that field is but it's more like techie, geeky. I was good at it, but so you know, like I like fell around. I got a good job working in New York, but it was working and in fact, my best friend was working in the construction.
Okay.
Years later, and this is like I'm moving forward now because I had like jobs, this and that. I had a job dispatching for the North Police for years, worked for the post office, and was working in New York. We was making $25 an hour in 2000. So that was good money back. That's when recession came. And my man, they told me, listen, man, take the unemployment. So I said, I'm gonna upgrade my credentials. I'm gonna go to Essex County College. They had a program, upgrade my credentials. The company folded, the recession hit the whole company folded while I was in the program. So
Okay.
I'm in this class and I'm serious about it. You know, did so well in the class, they offered me a job. And I've been ever since. I never went to school to be a teacher. Like I tell people, this is a career that's for me. It's like, it's you know, when I tell you Allah bless me, brother, is I look. Since then, I was like in a car accident. I had to like walking was difficult and all of that. So like I'm disabled now, but I'm not like disabled like lip or nothing. It's just like disabled. So I told that's when I went to a therapist after the accident. I had never been through this, and I told my therapist, I said, the hardest part of my day is getting out of bed and getting my shoes. I said, listen, once I get, I'm blessed to be a brother that loves his job. How many people say that?
Yes.
Like, right. like you love doing this. When you have a passion for it, it's not like work. So I love it, man.
And I'm sure the students, they see that. I mean, they see that come through, and that makes them want to even learn and everything else. They see that from the instructor. Absolutely.
It's funny you should say that, man. It's, my boss told me, man, he said, man, students love you. He said, they call you Pop Pop. I said, well, you know, that's what comes this here, man. When I was in high school, man, my students were bringing me, like, they would bring stuff. I'm teaching people that are on like workforce, which is people on welfare, helping them get jobs, teaching people on unemployment, you know, the at-risk clientele, youth, women, different programs. They was coming to the hospital, bringing me stuff for kids. That's what that kind of love. I never look. You know, it's like I get chills now. I had a young lady one day I saw, and she said, "Hey," and I looked at her and I was like, "Hey." She was like, "Look." She said, "Mr. Rahim, you don't remember me?" So she said, "Mr. Rahim was one of my students." I'm looking at her, and she said her first name, and I said her last name. I was just like, "Hey, girl." She said, "I never got a chance to tell you thank you because I had left one job. I had two jobs. I left. I had just went back to college. I went to Key Skills looking for you, and I couldn't find you. I always wanted to find you." She said, I got something I want to show you." She said, "Rahim, meet Rahim." I looked, and it's this little boy there now. And I'm there. I said, "Yeah," but I said, like, "Hey, man, now, was I drunk? I don't remember something." She's like, "Stop playing." She said, "No." But she said, "No." And then she had another little girl comes out the store, and she said, "This is Elisa." She said, "Elisa, this is the man that made it possible for us to be back together again." He was in one of my classes. She was a beautiful woman. And long story short, I helped her get in stuff, you know, like doing stuff that we do at the college. And when I tell you, this little girl came and she hugged me. Like she's so small. She's hugging like around my waist, so tight. And I'm looking at them, and the mother, she's hugging me. And it's little things like that. You know that you can make a difference. Is being a pro athlete. I might have been able to do some things, but like I tell all my friends now, if all of us leave North, we're gonna be here for these kids. And like people think like Cleo Hill is the untold story. They think the untold story is the athletic part. And no, the untold story is the lives that he saved when he came back and wasn't making a lot of noise about the things that happened. Like Cleo, he mentored my generation. He mentored my coach. Like Shaquille's father. Well, Shaquille's dad, his father, and him and his father had a difference, but his dad, Phil Harrison, Southsider.
Yes.
That's that mentality. And then, like I said, I look back, that's that Cleo Hill mentality. That's that Bonnie Wright mentality. And the only thing that I can do, man, I've been so blessed, brother, that I had to give back. I have to. That's why I'm gonna take this to show. Man, I'm too proud of you, little bro. Keep doing what you love you, man.
Nah, back at you. Nah, thank you. And what you just mentioned, even sharing that story about the young lady here, you can't put no price on that. There ain't no check in the world means that much as far as for her to share that what happened and having little Rahim there. Hey, you can't put no price on that.
Well, you know what's like you said, like to hear somebody like I'm as proud of as Mike Brown. You know, because I was gone to hear him say, like, I looked up to him, to hear A-Man telling me, like, listen, man, if it wasn't for you, you know, when I hear, and like, so many young brothers tell me that well, because I was always around people my age. I was never around people my age. Like I was playing with Poobie and them, and I was playing with Lou Grimsley and them on a team with Lou Grimsley when I was before my junior year in high school. So I'm 16 and I'm playing with Lou Grimsley and them. I'm playing against them. I'm playing against them. I'm playing against Eggers. No, but listen, this is when they in the Eggers in the pro. I'm playing against them.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, they never treated me like you're the little brother. It was like, okay, you're a brother. Oh, that's how I always treated my younger brother. The love that they give me, brother, it's all good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I think you probably answered this, but I'm asking you, like, basketball, what is this given to you that sticks with you to this day?
It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah,
they used to be in the locker room. When I saw them, like talking about Robert Cole, the best little guard ever. That's what I remember. And see, I'm a wordsmith. That's what I do.
Okay.
Like I teach computers, but I do like resumes and stuff like that. And I love to write. As soon as I saw the thing like they beefing about Robert Cole, best small guard, I said, they think Robert Cole was a small guard. They never played against him. You know? I said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Or like, keep up bringing Cleo. Cleo showed me a picture of him dunking on Wilt Chamberlain, bro. You know what I just said?
Nah, I heard exactly what you said.
And he's a guard. Listen, this is a guard. Hand and right hand. But the mentality is, and see, today's world, it's all about glitter and glamour and who got this and who got swag. It's just not my style. And basketball, like, it gave me humility, number one. And the other thing it taught me was just sports in general was the importance of having a team.
Yes.
A lot of good players are good players, but they're not good teammates. Like, and you can look at sports, a lot of different sports. You can see they don't get along with their teammates. And it's like another thing that I like is I write resumes. I'm a non-judgmental evaluator. Like, just before meeting you, one thing I loved about you was, like, hey, brother, I'm with my daughter.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people don't. That's what life is about. If you focus on yourself, you can be good. The team's not going to be better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And and it comes from it comes from that gene, that faith. You understand what I'm saying? It's not about you. It's about the whole community.
Nah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Although, can I put you on the spot a little bit before we part ways? Cool. Just ask some questions. Some make sense. Some might not make too much sense here. We'll figure it out though. What when in the whip, when you driving, Parkway or the Turnpike?
I like the beach, man. Yeah, I'm going Parkway. I like the beach.
Most definitely. So Clinton Ave or Bergen Street?
Oh, Clinton and Bergen. I'm taking the intersection, man. Okay, go on.
Yeah, good response. Yeah, that's right. The intersect. Most definitely here. What you call? We talking a club or a block party?
Club. I'm a club head. That's how we came up.
What was your spot?
Yeah, see, listen. Before it was Zanzibar, it was Abe's Bar and Grill. It was the same club, but it was free.
Ooh, okay.
Like, see, a lot of things, like, I learned at a young age that I had to be careful what I did, because folks told me, so if you go somewhere for a party and it's a fight, somebody get hurt, all they're gonna say is that Rahim was there. So I did a lot of traveling. Yeah. I used to see back in this club back in the days. I used to go to the garage over in New York. I used to work at the Cheetah Club up in Patterson. So I was just a club head, man.
Okay. Nah, no, most definitely. Bragman's or Cooper's?
Bragman's.
You talking Great Adventure or Action Park?
Either one of them. I can't fit in them rides, so it don't make me a difference.
No, that's fine. That's fine. As far as in regards to Shabazz or Hampton.
Oh, bleed black and gold.
Yeah. What Coach Reynolds mean to you?
Give me for 1 second, bro.
Okay.
I'm on interview right now. I'm gonna have to call you back. I want to call you, okay? You hear me? Sorry about that, brother.
Nah. I see that you mentioned the club. I heard the Usher ringtone. So yeah. So no, what Coach Reynolds? What do you mean? What has he meant to you?
That relationship has evolved. I just saw him. I told you at the janaza. His best friend was that was the janaza. Yes. Mm-hmm. Coach Reynolds and I grew up. Like his coaching career and my basketball career intersected, and we forever linked by that. I grew as a man, as a player with him. I feel like he grew as the coach for me, and it went from like he used to say, like that's my son.
Okay.
And I think now it's more like brothers, because like, and it's not demeaning to like demeaning how I feel about Coach Reynolds. My family's structure was so strong. Like my father and my grandfathers and my uncles are so strong. Like I don't really have any father figures because my father was so strong. Mm-hmm. But I understood what he was saying then. But we brothers like this.
Okay. Most definitely. Basketball wise, what's you said it earlier. I don't know if it'll change here. Best game you ever played in your life on any level?
Last game I lost in high school. I think people tell me like the state championship game, the one I fell on my head. Like I missed about a quarter. I know I had 31 points, I think about 17, 18 rebounds, and I missed the quarter. Mm-hmm. But I think the game against Orange, I think, like for me, I remember more the games that I lost than the games that I won.
Okay. Nah, because I hate a lot of competitors do. Yeah, they think they know those L's, yeah, a lot more. Yeah. Yeah, because they'll sit with you a little, they sting a little more. They sting a whole lot more.
Like I said, I don't remember the state championship, man.
Yeah. Best team you ever been on? At any level. At any level.
Any level?
At any level. Best team you've been on?
In the whole bad company.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And speaking of whole, favorite playground. You mentioned the whole just now. What anything else? The whole?
Oh.
It was an event. Right?
Say something, bro. When I was down in Hampton one time, some of my boys from New York came over and they playing. And we done this is after they moved back because the original hole was in the middle of Stellar Ray Projects. Mm-hmm. With the wall next to it, this little bandbox court. Then the next year, that's when they went to Green Acres.
Okay.
So we in Green Acres playing, and one of my boys, he got that New York. He brought one of his boys with him. And he got that New York style. And he said, somebody blocked his shot, and he calls. He said, "What you talking about? What you talking about, man? I'm from New York. I don't play this." Man looked up. Now, you know, you said, you mean that place way over there? Because you could see the New York skyline from in the hole. Said, oh, man, you mean that joint way over there, man?
Yeah.
My man, the two guys that was from New York, they looked, and they just looked at us, and they just started laughing, and then we was like brothers for the rest of the way. You know what I mean? We could go, we went everywhere. Listen. Yeah, we went anywhere and played. We went be over in New York, like West 4th Street, up in New York, and there's no nothing against them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We go there, they don't come over here. They used to say, where you from Jersey? I said, no, I'm from Newark. In Newark, in New Jersey? I said, listen, it's Newark, all the rest of
it. Yeah. Now, did you have a go-to move? Did you have a go-to move back when?
I'm just rebounding, bro.
Okay.
Rebound, like rebounding. I tell most people rebounding, they think skill for most people. Rebound was just a passion for me. I could go with the ball. That was my thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As far as from your era, the top 5 players from your era, high school.
In my era, what years? Because I started high school. Look, I graduated in '79. How far back you want me to go?
No, I'll just say period. Then let's even take period. Your top high school players.
I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go in Newark,
wherever.
You know, I'm gonna say Cleo Hill, 90, right? I mean, I just stay at Southside.
All right, we keep all Shabazz team. You're starting five. Shabazz.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm not gonna even include anybody as young as me or younger than me.
Okay.
That's how, I'm a Southside head. I go Cleo Hill, Lonnie Wright, Lou Grimsley.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Two more.
Wow. Richie Booker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave the fourth spot open because it's too many. I'm gonna leave that fifth spot open. I got four, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna leave the fifth spot because I can't put nobody in there. I can't.
You won't put yourself?
Oh no. Mm-hmm. Listen, when I was playing with Lou now, I was starting, and I was a young boy, and I remember Lou arguing with me one time. And I said, "Man, listen, I'm doing all this rebound. I don't mind rebounding, but then I get down there and all y'all doing is shooting.
Yeah,
I don't ever look like, because I'm an inside play. I don't ever look down, and this is why Lou, that's my brother. Listen, this is what made me good. Lou said, "Listen, ball, you pitch it to me.
mm-hmm.
You down the other end. When I get there, I'm gonna give it to you. But if I give it to you, you better go to the hole." He said, "If you don't dunk it, you better go hard."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Lou could be, and see, Lou could shoot. I get the ball and I pitch it to Lou, and he wouldn't even have to be looking at it. But I knew, see, that's the mentality. And that was after my sophomore year.
Yeah.
That's when I was playing with them. And that changed me. Like Lou, the whole changed my life. And that's another brother.
Yes. No, most definitely. I had opportunity to talk to Lou there. So definitely, most definitely, yeah. As far as somebody who should have made it, however you want to define made it.
Oh, I put this. Cleo and Lou.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Booker too. Ricky Booker's all state in two sports, I believe.
Yeah. Nah. That's what's up. So, best part about being Rahim Williams.
My children.
Yes.
And my my family. I use this analogy in my classroom all the time. Now, since the college is on a less schedule class, I'm blessed. Weekend classes, when I told you I'm teaching senior citizens.
Okay.
Something about like this, see, I love that brother. Like this gray hair, I love it. And I tell the younger people all the time, I said, listen, I'm a big, strong man, but I was raised by a whole bunch of little, strong women. You know, I remember one time we all at the table. My grandfather looked at my grandmother and said, "It's my house." My grandmother looked at him and said, "Yeah, but it's my home." My grandfather, big man like me, he looked, because we all boys. He looked at us. He said, "Did you hear what she said? That's right.
Yeah.
That's strength, but humility."
Mm-hmm.
And listen, my grandfather, man, used to be on, when I was a kid, used to be on WNJR on Sunday. He's the number one gospel music promoter in the East Coast, Ronnie Williams.
Okay.
First job I ever had was working with him down at Symphony Hall doing this program. My family had stature. And listen, in Cleo Hill, not the first time I really met Cleo, he was telling me that him and my father's brother was partners at Fayshon High School. I told Cleo your boy Cleo that the other night.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
My roots in North is deep.
Nah, they are. Three of your most proudest moments. I know you've had a bunch of them, but what's three of your proudest moments in your life?
I'm trying to like my kids.
Okay.
When my sons got awards at their graduation. When my brother, we dealt with tragedy of my father's life differently. My brother analyzed that, and he started doing things. When he got himself together, now he went from somebody that they called an addict to now he's proctoring different meetings.
Okay.
He, my brother, do that. And I say, when my sons got award, and other one brother was when I went into the Southside Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
I remember looking, and my brother, like all my family now is just about, like my real family has migrated down to down south there in Georgia. They couldn't make it. Only like, I'm not gonna say like I'm talking about my internal family, like my immediate family.
Immediate family, yes.
So my best friend, like I said, I cannot say that he's not family. He come up on the stage with me, and I turn my back. I'm crying because I'm like saying, like, wow, my mother had passed away by then. My father was gone. My brother not dead. And when I walked up the stage, uh, Arthur Johnson's wife, Arthur Johnson, went on to coach at Weequay, played with Cleo Hill. One of our coach, his Arthur Johnson and his wife was good friends with my mother and father. When I came off the stage, I call his mom. I grabbed her. She was like, "I'm so proud of you." And she just looked at me and she had on the suit. She said, "Your mother and father will be so proud of the man that you become." That's the best award that I've ever gotten.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. And speaking of which, a book on your life, what would you name it?
I'm a writer. You know, they trying to listen. All the people that's close to me are trying to get me to write a book too. I'm more like, what would I name it? I am, not coulda.
Yes. Makes a whole lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. And this Rahim here, this point in your life here, what advice would you give that 17, 18-year-old senior Rahim?
And again, I'm a wordsmith. I'm gonna tell you something that I said at my own mother's funeral at Hutchinson. All relatives aren't friends, and all friends aren't relatives. You know what I mean? Because I got friends right now, brother. That's like you guess they say that's not your sister. One of my god sisters one day, she told me, she said, "Okay, well, do something or say something around me because you're not supposed to do or say, and you're gonna find out how much it's."
That's right. That's right.
When you at a young age, you said tell 16 or 17, you think that somebody's your friend because they're doing something for you, because they're around you. Friends that I had when I was 16 and 17, those are my partners now. You understand? And I didn't have too many. My family was mostly men. I had mostly female friends, and that's one of the blessings of my life. Like when you have female friends and you're not trying to sleep with them, you're not trying to do this. They tell you when your breath stink. They tell you when those shoes don't match. And that's what I love. That's what I love.
Nah, definitely. Rahim, I just want to say thank you. I mean, I know we've had opportunity to talk prior to this, and like I said, this again, just the blessing just to have you on here, and just to obviously meet another person in this journey of mine here. I mean, like, it leaves me speechless because, again, like I said, people come into your life, I guess, for a reason, as they say here, and Allah is the best of all planners, So I just want to say this, thank you, just for sharing a little bit of your world here, just your upbringing, even your times, even in therapy, just even willing to share some of that stuff. Yeah,
oh, good, man.
Everything. Just you teaching, and just how you just making people's lives that much better as far as the outcome of that. Just being an instructor myself here, I understand, and I get that, everything that you talked about when you shared about being an instructor or what have you. So I completely get it. But I wanted to say thank you. I mean, another person from around the way I get to meet here, and like I said, I'm floored by all of this. So I just want to say thank you.
I'm gonna tell you like this: like I believe in like spreading the wealth around. So you drop some names, you get in contact with us like this. The OGs, we stay in contact with each other. Okay. You let me know, man. You let me know.
No, I appreciate it. Definitely. We will talk.
What school you went to?
I went to Immaculate in Montclair.
Really?
Yes.
Man, Mustafa graduated. Christopher Terry we used to go up there.
Yeah. So
younger than you.
That's where I went. Yes.
Yeah. I know.
Nah. Thanks a million.
Love you, little bro.
Love you too. I appreciate everything. Definitely. We'll be in touch, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sound like
Walaikum assalam. Wow. Yeah, a little smile on my face here, like I said, just so excited. Get opportunity to meet individuals such as Rahim and everybody else. Appreciate those listening, those who joined on to just share a little bit of their world here. Like I said, I'm so appreciative of all of this. With that said, though, I'm just going to step away. Till next time, put my hand over my heart. That means I feel you. Yeah.